style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from RollerGirls Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our R-Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the R-Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The R-Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
City recently lost a skater who was going in for a routine ankle operation to repair a broken ankle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside No Big Deal, I am Star Spangled Hammer, and we are about to get underway here with another fantastic bout at Brouhaha 2015 here on the Derby Laces Track 2. We've got number 7 Minnesota going up against number 14 arch rival. This should be a wild one.
This should be. I am a longtime fan of Arch Rival. I haven't seen much of them lately, but I'm excited. They had a big win over Ohio earlier. That was yesterday, and I'm excited to see what they can do against Minnesota. Two really strong Midwest teams.
Yep, both teams coming into today's action flawless in brouhaha play. Both teams 2-0 this weekend. Minnesota with wins over Ohio, 284-80. A loss to Gotham yesterday.
I was going to say,
yeah.
but a good fight. Any points on the board to Gotham is always good.
So we're about to get underway here. And then on the line first for St. Louis, that is going to be Brickyard on the notorious RED jammer line. It looks like Shiver Me Kimbers is going to start the game off for Minnesota.
Shiver Me Kimber is kind of handing the jammer off to her team while she struggles up front with a strong arch rival pack, a wall of pink. Brickyard sneaking through, and she gets around the outside to be your lead jammer.
Now, both of these teams have played Ohio this weekend, and arch rival actually with the better differential, so it'll be interesting to see if that plays out during this game.
Well, either way, I think that it will be a little bit of a nail biter. Arch rival getting recycled back. Looking for some points. Looks like a little bit of a star pass. Who grabbed the star? And Brickyard calls it off.
Yeah, the en vogue strategy of the day, take that star off, hoping that no one notices. Interesting tactic.
Looks like arch rival first to draw blood, 4-0.
Emily Reinhardt taking a seat in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
It's a mouthful, isn't it? All weekend, I'm like, how many more words do I have to say to just say she went to the penalty box?
Yeah, actually, both teams have lost a blocker, so 3-on-3 pack. Harmony Killebrews out there for St. Louis, and that is Jacked Pipes out there for Minnesota.
Harmony Killebrews has been skating for a long time. Solid skater.
Harmony Killebrews actually a recent transfer from Minnesota to arch rival.
Right. Oh, a little bit of an apex jump. So, all right, Arch gets 2. Minnesota gets 4 with that apex jump. Probably a little mixed emotions playing against your old team. And they know all your tricks. That's always nerve-wracking.
But at the same time, she knows all their blockers. So.
Exactly. She's not afraid, or maybe she's extra afraid. You never know.
So on the line now for St. Louis, that's Brick Tater, recent transfer from L.A., from the Bay Area Derby Dolls.
Against Fanny Tanner, and she will be your lead jammer for Minnesota. Oh, and Brick Tater heading to the penalty box.
Arch rival has played pretty clean this weekend. Their win over Steel City yesterday, they only had 5 jammer penalties.
Oh, wow.
One here early for Brick Tater.
Whew. And out of play, and Minnesota will be your lead jammer.
So an early opportunity here for Minnesota to put some big points on the board. Nice force out there by Kayla Sieber.
That wall of pink.
It's Kayla Sieber, Jamheiser-Busch, and Emily Reinhardt out there right now.
Giving her a hard time, pushing her out of bounds, and recycling her back a little bit. Oh, no, they let her inch all the way back. So meanwhile, Brick Tater flies out, a little bit unnoticed.
Really nice penalty kill there by arch rival.
13-6.
I fully expect this to be a back and forth affair.
I think so. Looking good. We've got Jack Pipes again, already back on the line with Swanson for arch rival. Both eyeing up the pack, trying to see where they can get a little bit of an edge in. Jack Pipes trying to shimmy to the inside. Oh no, taking down a blocker. She will be going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box, leaving Swanson for a sock it to me power jam. But she's going to contend with those Minnesota blockers who are just barely moving forward. Maybe a little help from her friends here. So she can capitalize on this. Oh, but Minnesota says, I don't really think we're going to let you in.
I was mentioning earlier how ARG only had 5 jammer penalties in their previous matchup. Minnesota had 13 against Ohio.
Oh, well. It's hard to get points when you're sitting in the penalty box.
That it is.
Swanson finally threw it to be her lead jammer as Jack Pipes tries to get through on an edge, but her skates say no. Swanson gets through and gets all of her points. And there is a star pass. Swanson still skating for arch rival. Another 3 points for Arch. And there you go. Lead change, everybody. If you're playing a drinking game at home, now's the time.
I imagine there's a viewing party in St. Louis right now. They might want to have an EMT on hand.
A lot of lead changes. That's what I expect.
So on the notorious RED jammer line, that's Mighty Mighty Boston for St. Louis, going up against Gertrude Stein for Minnesota.
Both jammers looking fierce, giving each other the eye. Oh, and a little help from her friends, and that's Mighty Mighty Boston, and she is through, and your lead jammer for arch rival. I see a disappearing star on Minnesota. Who's got it? Where did it go?
Yeah, Sampson has it up front.
And the pivot is putting it on now. But Mighty Mighty Boston gets all her points and calls it off. Was that 5 big points? Was that a Rydell Grand Slam?
It sure was.
All right.
So a very smart call off there by Boston as a lone blocker stands in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. And it's going to be Brickyard back on the line for St. Louis, going up against number 9, Secondhand Smoke for Minnesota.
Both teams trying out a lot of jammers to get it going. Probably trying to test who has the best strategy to get through these tight packs. These fierce and angry packs, and arch rival again getting lead jammer status for Brickyard.
This is actually going to be a Sakatumi power jam as there was a forearm call on Secondhand Smoke.
That is not what Minnesota needs right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, even more concerning is we're not even 8 minutes into this game, and Secondhand Smoke already has 4 penalties.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like some of my old games.
Meanwhile, Brickyard with a Rydell Grand Slam.
Doing great. Rydell skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance. Oh, big hit. She stays in and calls it off for Brickyard.
Brickyard 4 more points. That's a 9-point jam for St. Louis.
28-13. A lot to contend with on that jam. Taking a hit, twirling, calling it off. All the things that a jammer does.
3-on-2 pack advantage in favor of St. Louis as Harmony Killer Brews takes the line for St. Louis up against, that's Fanny Tanner, number 2 for Minnesota. Harmony Killer Brews does get lead jammer but gets forced out.
Taken all the way back. She's going to try it again. Her former teammates. Oh, and she will get a track cut. I could see it from here.
So tried to make something out of nothing, and it backfired as a track cut call on Harmony Killer Brews, and now a Sakatumi power jam here for Minnesota.
Fanny Tanner only having to get through 2. They're not making it easy, but she's pushing, hoping to get, and she gets through.
So big opportunity here with over a minute left in this jam.
Trying to make the most of it, but It looks like Harmony Killebrews is standing and will be on the track. Oh, no. Rotating action here in the penalty box as Fanny Tanner will go to the penalty box as Harmony is making her way through the pack. Now she's on a Socket to Me power jam.
4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of Minnesota right now.
I actually just bought some Socket to Me socks, and they're adorable. Harmony says, come on, guys, remember me? But she makes it through another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Oh,
my.
Just the edge of one skate, and she gets through for those points. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like 38-27.
So
a lot of action, a lot of penalties already.
So far, the name of the game, the forearm.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, what, 3 in a row there?
I got to say that this whole tournament, I've noticed that forearms are being called really strictly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of forearms and a lot of multiplayer blocks. Those have been the big ones that the refs have really been watching for this weekend.
I don't know. In my opinion, and because I have a microphone on, you're going to get it. I find that the forearms are maybe a little too strict. A little too strictly called. But I'll take it up with JC Chaotic later.
So a little bit of information for you. The next Brouhaha 2016
Mark your calendars.
June 3rd through 5th. So put it on your calendars. Get your travel plans ready. And I'll tell you what, if you've got a team that wants to be here, you better let
get
them
it together. It fills up fast. Find who you want to play. What is that mascot? Is that actually the state of Minnesota, or is it like a squashed book?
Yes, that is Minnesota Nice, the mascot of the Minnesota RollerGirls, and that is, in fact, the shape of Minnesota.
I would argue that that's creepier than it is nice. No love lost for you, Minnesota. Oh, big hit.
Oh, Brick Tater
gosh.
just stays in bounds.
That was amazing.
Wow.
She's on a Socket to Me power jam, and she is through.
Wow, she is like a lightning bolt
She's your
right
lead
now.
jammer, and she is getting points. Very impressive for Brick Tater.
Oh, so good at changing direction while keep maintaining her speed.
That was amazing. She's got speed behind her on this one, which is hard to do in the current state of roller derby, to get some speed.
Well, she's so strong, too. You have really got to get a solid hit on her to even remotely move her.
So when cross-training is really helping out.
Ooh, spin around as she got hit.
Big hit to the outside. She gets recycled back. She's not worried because she knows that Minnesota's still on their initial pass while she is racking up the points right now.
Yeah, meanwhile, we have a
Minnesota
star pass.
Was a star pass. Looks like we're taking it to 57 for Arch Rival with Minnesota's 27. I'm sorry, 56. 27, my old roller derby number.
So here early, Arch Rival making a statement. Minnesota a little bit on their heels.
Yeah.
Battling some tough jammer penalties.
They're going to have to lock down their defense a little bit or make some room for their jammers to start scoring some more points. Probably a little bit of both. They did it there. We've got Jack Pipes with your lead jammer.
Annie Swanson
Looking
out there
good.
still trying to work her way through the pack.
Jack Pipe trying each side. Can I get my shoulder here? How about here? Trying to spread them out a little bit. Getting folded in half there.
Sometimes you feel like Monty Hall on Let's Make a Deal. You're like, do I want this door or this door?
I'll do whatever works to get me through this terrible situation.
Probably showing my age a little bit there.
Maybe a little bit. I wasn't going to say anything.
What's that say about you, though? You got it.
I hung out with my grandparents a lot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just kidding. Who do we have on the line? Shiver Me Kimbers for Minnesota.
And that's Mighty Mighty Boston for St. Louis.
Oh, Minnesota players going down right away in the initial kerfuffle. Nice spin. Ooh. A nice spin only to get decked. Now, that one wasn't called a forearm.
No, in fact, forearm call on a Minnesota player. Evidently, that was a clean hit. Just came out of the pack and then right into Emily Reinhart.
Surprised by that one. Shiver Me Kimber is not yet through the pack, while Mighty Mighty Boston went through on one scoring pass, looking for some more points. She had a natural Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
So we have a star pass to Gertrude Stein. Mighty Mighty Boston well aware of the pass and calls that jam off before Stein is able to get around and score any points.
That looked like a big hit to the face or the neck.
Believe it or not, sometimes those big hits are clean. And evidently, I mean, the ref was right there.
You know, I'm a fan of the big hit when it's not on me.
Exactly. The fans love it, but the players don't like getting hit.
Players, not so much. Looks like we've got Fanny Tanner and Brickyard for our rival out there. Struggling to get through. Oh, that was close. Neck and neck. Minnesota being called as your lead jammer.
So now you're going to see the players for our rival try to get to the front of the pack and take control. Speed the pack up.
Nobody wants to be a point.
Oh, nice play by Brickyard as she put on the afterburners there to close in and force the call off. No points.
0-0. Really looked like she was going to get at least one, but she didn't pass the hips. You have to legally pass the hips of the opposing player.
It's like Chubb said in Happy Gilmore, it's all in the hips.
You know, I have to say I never saw that movie.
So next up on the Notorious RED Jammer line, it's going to be Jacked Pipes for Minnesota and Harmony Killer Brews for St. Louis. Those of you watching at home that are fans of Minnesota are probably a little weirded out hearing Harmony Killer Brews' name for arch rival.
Minnesota fans are probably finding it hard not to cheer for her. All right, Jack Pipes is your lead jammer. Sending some arch rival girls to the penalty box.
Yep, out of play call on Cloak and Dragger.
Jack Pipes tried to make a little bit of an apex jump, but fell to the inside and had to be recycled back, but that's okay. She found the outside line. She says, that was pretty good. I'm going to call it off.
So 5 points, a Rydell Grand Slam there for Minnesota. So I'll tell you what, this game moving on at a blistering pace. We're already down to 13-14 here in the first half.
Yeah, I can't believe it. This game is cruising.
Next up on the Notorious RED Jammer line, it's Bricktator for arch rival, and that is number 2, Fanny Tanner out there for Minnesota.
3-on-2 pack action. And arch rival will be your lead jammer. That's Bricktator again. Strong and fierce and really fast.
Oh, smart play there by arch rival.
Nice. You gotta love those when you find the inside line and you barely get touched. Feels so really good as a jammer.
Yeah, really smart play there by arch rivals blockers. As soon as they saw Bricktator coming up, they immediately grabbed that lone back Minnesota blocker and slowed her down enough.
Shiver Me Kimber's on the line, the Notorious RED Jammer line with Swanson for arch rival. Notorious RED. You can smell clean even if you play dirty. You can get it here at Brouhaha, but you guys can't because you're probably watching this at home. So you can order it online at notoriousred.com.
So Minnesota secures lead jammer here, jam number 14. So a quick 4 points there for Minnesota.
Smart call off. Minnesota really wants to just shut them down and chip away at that lead.
So what started out in the first 10 minutes or so is a pretty rough game, a lot of penalties. Things have calmed down a lot here in the second 10 minutes.
Yep.
And now we're starting to see just some really solid derby by both sides.
Agreed. They're reining it in. Looks like they're making some jammer decisions. We're seeing a lot of the same now. Mighty Mighty Boston for arch rival up against Jacked Pipes. Mighty Mighty Boston goes down early in the pack, but she's back up right away. Oh, Jacked Pipes, one to beat, and she does it. She will be your lead jammer.
Oh, now we've got a forearm call on Mighty Mighty Boston, so a Sakatumi power jam here for Minnesota. An opportunity here for Minnesota to close that gap some.
Mighty Mighty Boston's first trip to the box. Whoa. She snuck by them like a thief in the night. Jacked Pipes, all 5 points for a Rydell Skates Grand Slam. Oh, did she just get a forearm?
Yeah. Wow, another forearm.
I don't know about these forearm calls. Mighty Mighty Boston trying to make something happen. Trying each side. How do I get through the circle? Trying anything she can. It's hard when they form a circle. It is not a circle of love.
Well, it is for the teammates, not for the jammer. You know, we've been talking a lot about forearms, and I'm wondering if what we're not seeing is what I've seen a lot of jammers doing is that hook, where they'll reach around and hook on an opposing blocker and use it to spin around. And they've been calling that as a forearm, so I wonder if that's what we're not catching that the refs are.
It's possible. I know the refs are doing their job and doing it well. They are amazing, and they work hard. They're here all weekend. Obviously, we're all volunteers. Refs always the unsung heroes. There's almost more refs, well, if you count NSOs, more refs and NSOs per game than players. That's a lot to crew, considering how many games are there a day? Like 15?
At
15
least.
games a day? That's a lot. Good thing there's a quiet room where people can take naps.
Yes, there is. I'll tell you what, the staff here at Brouhaha doing a fantastic job catering to all of us.
Really become a phenomenal tournament. We've got Brickyard and Fanny Tanner out there. Brickyard trying to contend with these two Minnesota girls, and she does it. She's jamming on through.
So Minnesota now quickly taking control of the front of the pack. Smart move there. Brickyard's going to get as many points as she can. Call that jam off. Let's see. Only 1 point there for Brickyard.
Only 1 point.
Wait, nope. Now we're seeing an update. 2 points.
Throwing the peace sign up.
2 points. 2 points. Obviously better than 1 point.
Obviously.
I think Brickyard was expecting 3 or 4 there, but only got 2.
I think she was out of bounds while passing those other people. So 74 Arch, 55 Minnesota. Looking good. Both teams looking very serious. Neither one of them wants to lose this. Ooh, Minnesota getting recycled way far back. Wow, nice spin move by Harmony Killerbruce for Arch rival.
That is Shiver Me Kimbers out there jamming for Minnesota, who has now gotten free of the pack on her initial pass. Calls the jam off. 3 points there by Harmony. A nice move. Swinging her hips
Very
around
nice.
the inside.
conflicted emotion for Minnesota fans.
Yeah, Minnesota kind of giving Harmony the golf clap there.
Like, okay, you're still good. Traitor.
So it's going to be Gertrude Stein now on the notorious RED jammer line going up against Bricktator for St. Louis.
Bricktator and Brickyard.
Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box currently empty, so 4-on-4 pack.
All right. Bricktator, lead jammer for Arch. Wow. Yeah, secondhand smoke, 6 penalties already going to the penalty box. She's going to have to rein it in if she hopes to stay in this game.
Well, that could be a serious issue to Minnesota later on, as they have used her as a nice change-up jammer.
That's true.
Periodically, and if she's not available, they might be in trouble later on.
Swanson back in the line for arch rival, and Jacked Pipes for Minnesota. Both of them seeing a lot of action and doing quite well. Jacked Pipes already has 27 points for this game. Swanson 10. Both looking great. Each one of these points rather hard won. Just over 5 minutes left in this game. I mean, in this half of the game.
I'll tell you what, this first half has just flown by.
It's really intense, yeah.
And once again, arch rival with lead jam, Annie Swanson.
Looking for points as Minnesota keeps getting recycled to the back by this wall of pink. A little bit of a, Star is in hand. Meanwhile, Swanson getting her points. Coming through for some more.
Jam called off by Annie Swanson, and
Jammer Star never went back on.
Yeah, it almost seems like Jacked Pipes just never got close enough to the pack and didn't even bother putting it back on.
Minnesota still at 55. Arch rival inching toward 100.
Official review out there right now.
Official review, big hugs on the track with Arch rival. I don't know. Both teams are going to have a lot to talk about in the locker room. Right now, I'm going to just talk to you about some of our sponsors. What do you think?
Do it.
We are here on Derby Laces. Track 2. Say goodbye to Untied Skate Laces. Wow. Well, maybe they need some merch. Maybe they should get some Brouhaha t-shirts. They have them here. But say goodbye to Untied Skate Laces. Derby Laces stay tied tight where you want them, and you can get yours at derbylaces.com. I don't know if you're into this, but you could try the new Spark Metallic, because who doesn't love some super strong and super shiny laces?
Looks like we have some competition here.
Yeah, we really do. Battle of the Bellies happening.
Boy, I don't know. So on a more somber note, we want to be a little serious here right now. On behalf of everyone at home at Midwest Brouhaha, we want to send our deepest sympathies to Assassination City Derby. They sadly lost one of their own skaters recently to complications from surgery. All of our love and support is with them and the family of Rockhell in this time. A lot of Derby love out here from the community to our family, our extended family at Assassination City.
Truly terrible. Complications from a broken ankle surgery.
It's an unfortunate fact of life at times.
Terrifying. It looks like the skaters are ready to get things going, but it's still an official timeout. I like to say that it's the Illuminati sign that they're throwing out when the officials are standing out there, but it's not. It's actually an O for official timeout. I feel like they don't point to their muscles as much anymore. Looks like we're ready to get things going over on the notorious RED Jammer line. Everyone is lining up. Mighty, mighty Boston.
So we're going to have a Sakatumi Power Jam here
Oh,
as the challenge was successful. There was a track cut that was missed. Well, not missed, but overlooked. And the challenge was overturned. And so now we're going to have the Minnesota Jammer in the penalty box here.
Well, Fanny Tanner is taking a seat in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Mighty, mighty Boston left to her own devices, but having a rough go of it here with Minnesota.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing we have seen all weekend is the defenses have gotten so good.
Yes.
Both teams, especially in this battle here, defense, the name of the game now.
Mighty, mighty Boston throwing out a play. Looking for a little bit of help. Oh, almost had it, but getting recycled back.
Meanwhile, the Sakatumi Power Jam has come to an end.
No, that wasn't Fanny Tanner. That was Jack Pipes in the penalty box, and she is out.
And now we've got another forearm call here. Mighty, mighty Boston.
Sakatumi Power Jam.
So this jam will go the full 2 minutes.
Certainly will. Looking for a little bit of help, but falls down. Jack Pipes, 2 left to contend with. Oh, and she does. A little nice mohawk around the outside. 5-point Rydell grand slam. Rydell skates. Unmatched quality, unmatched performance. They are here at Brouhaha, but of course you can find them online. Oh my goodness. These are hard points to get, people. Derby points never come easily. Oh, almost had it. 4 points, 4 extra points for arch rival on that one. Bringing the score to 65-96.
So just over 2 minutes remaining here. So we've got 1, maybe 2 jams left in this half. A half that has been mainly in arch rival's favor.
That's true.
Penalty heavy, however, both
teams need to lock down their penalties. I'm guessing that's going to be the hot topic in the locker rooms. Minnesota fans having a good time with the ARG fans. I can't hear what the chant is, but I'm sure it's something witty. We've got Fanny Tanner jamming for Minnesota right now against Brickyard. And Brickyard will be your lead jammer. Fanny Tanner getting her fanny tanned on that one. I know that's got to be funny because I know that fanny means something different in England. So if there are any listeners across the pond,
I'll tell you what.
I'm sure that's hilarious.
I think you can safely bet that the London RollerGirls are probably watching this game with interest.
They should be. It is a fun game. And they know that they're going to play some of these teams. Really? Oh, Brickyard says enough with that. I got my 5 points from that Rydell Grand Slam. I am going to be done for right now.
And that 5 points puts arch rival over the century mark here.
101. All right. I think that's cause to drink. Drink them if you got them.
I got water.
I also have water and coffee, which I probably don't need at this point. Let's see, who do we have? We have Shiver Me Kimbers on the line and Harmony Killer Brews.
Some nice cycling and bridge work there.
Great bridge.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she busts through. Wow, some nice work by Shiver Me Kimbers.
Very nice.
Minnesota fans getting loud in the stands. looking for some points here. Can she get them? Harmony finally breaks free. As Shiver Me Kimbers got her 4, and she says, all right, let's do this again. That should bring us to halftime. We will be back soon. In the meantime, you should really get online, check out some of our fabulous sponsors. Maybe you want to get ready for next year's Brouhaha and book some time at the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Maybe you want to order a Brew Skate Noose. They're the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. And you know what? They have been providing MVP awards this whole weekend for the headliner bouts, which is awesome.
Very nice. Also, if you're out there on internet land, obviously if you're watching us, you are, make sure you go to Twitter, Facebook.
Check out the hashtags.
MySpace, CompuServe, AOL, BBS's.
Do any of those exist anymore?
I think some of them do.
Some of them do? Okay.
But hashtag Brouhaha 2015. We'd love to hear from you. So we will be back here in about 9 minutes.
Sounds good. See you soon.
All right, we are back here at Derby Laces Track 2 at 2015 Brouhaha alongside No Big Deal. I am Star Spangled Hammer. The name of the story of the first half, penalties.
Yes, and forearms. I actually talked to JC Chaotic. She is the head ref of this entire tournament, and I asked her, I said, it seems like they're being called a little bit tight, and the clarification is that there is any kind of little push off by the jammer to get around those opposing blockers, any sort of like swimming that they can see with a forearm, that's being called as a forearm. There's not a different penalty name for it. It is a forearm. So we might not see it up here from our high judgmental position, but the refs see it, and they are working hard to spot it. Any little advantage that they're taking, they are calling.
Now, that said, the penalties have been pretty even for both sides. Minnesota with 20 total penalties, arch rival with 18 total in the first half. Now, the big story has been jammer penalties. Minnesota with 2 more, sitting at 6 jammer penalties for the first half. Arch rival with just 4.
I think that probably both teams decided, let's not get any more penalties unless it's super, super worth it. So here we are again.
So as the second half gets underway here in just a moment, arch rival with the lead 101 to Minnesota's 69.
Give a little shout out to Turnaround Skates. They are the official skate tech of this entire tournament. They're actually over on track 1 doing what they can to get everything together. And we're back in the action.
So just like that, Brickyard, your lead jam as we get back underway here on Derby Laces Track 2.
Shiver Me Kimbers is out though, but the jam is called off. Turnaround Skates is your source for roller derby skates, protective gear, and apparel. They are the official skate tech of the tournament, and they offer wheel regrooving, bearing cleaning, skate repairs, all of that good stuff. If you were here, you could take advantage of it right now, but you can find them online.
Also right now, if you happen to be listening while you're here, everything in the shop is 10% off or more.
Yeah, they have some crazy sales. Maybe even if you're just nearby, come on down here. It's worth it for the sale alone. And you might see some amazing derby. We've got Jack Pipes. Not your lead jammer.
Nope, Harmony Killebrew is able to get lead jammer. Already scored 4 points for our rival.
Looking good. Again, she used to play for Minnesota. So a little bit hard for the MNR fans here. MNRG, sorry.
It's got to be a little bit bittersweet for Harmony Killebrews as well, playing against her old friends. Well, not old friends, her old teammates. She's still certainly
they can still be friends.
Not right now, they can't.
Not right this second, but later. After this game, when they can all kick back for a little bit, decompress. Who do we have? We have Bricktator against Fanny Tanner. Looks like a 3-on-3. No, yes, 3-on-3 pack. Now we've got 4 for Minnesota. Now we've got 4 for arch rival. Minnesota, 1 to deal with. Can she get through? She can, and she is your lead jammer.
Bricktator hot on her tail, though, and that speed, holy moly. She has closed that gap quickly. And I think she got a point. 2 points there for arch rival. So 2 non-lead points for arch rival, 2 lead points for Minnesota. An impressive end of that jam there for Bricktator.
Both of them scooting through as fast as they possibly can.
Bricktator certainly with a 4th gear there. Holy moly.
Such impressive teams, both of them. Let's see, we've got Jack Pipes and Swanson about to jam on it from the notorious RED jam line. If your gear's a little smelly, which it probably is after a tournament like this, you should check out some notorious RED. You can smell clean even if you sat in the penalty box a lot. You can get it here or check out notoriousred.com. No pack situation.
And we're going to have a Sakatumi Power Jam here.
Oh.
Track cut call on jacked pipes for Minnesota.
No, Swanson alone. But Minnesota is not letting her get through. Working hard against her.
That triangle defense, the in vogue play right now in today's derby.
It's true. Looked like a elbow call.
So finally,
Mack is back. Only 2 blockers for Minnesota.
After an entire minute, Annie Swanson
Trying
finally gets
hold.
lead.
Oh, and Swanson's able to pick up some points. Was that indeed a Rydell Skates Grand Slam?
It was.
It was.
Shira Powers and Cloak and Dragger cycling the Minnesota Jammer jacked pipes back.
I feel like Minnesota has only had 2 blockers for a very long time. I'm not sure if the penalty box, the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box, is rotating a bunch.
Yeah, I wasn't
It definitely
sure.
seemed like it.
I wasn't sure either. I don't remember seeing a bunch of skaters skate by, so
Perhaps they had outstanding penalties.
could have been.
122, arch rival, breaking away a little bit from Minnesota. They are going to need to lock it down. They want to get back and contend for the win here. MNRG fans chanting loudly. I don't know where the Arg Belly fans went.
They've actually moved down onto the
there they
onto
are.
the track.
I see them.
They're now down over in turn 2.
Too much camera equipment in the way.
You can see them there in the background.
Meanwhile, it must be working because Mighty Mighty Boston is your lead jammer.
And we do have a star pass now to the pivot. That's Sampson. Big hit there on Mighty Mighty Boston. She gets up with a smile on her face, though.
Big hit. Good one.
And is that a blocking out of play call there at the end?
Looks like 3-on-3 blocker situation. No, couldn't be. Nope. Our
Nope.
rival has them all now.
So it's Brick Tater now on the notorious RED jammer line for St. Louis, going up against Gertrude Stein
Gertrude Stein.
for Minnesota.
Ooh, shimmying around hot foot. Brickyard getting to be your lead jammer.
Star pass
And
made.
out in front. Lots of star pass from Minnesota.
Yep, Minnesota trying to stop the bleeding on these plays where Arg gets out quickly.
Brickyard looked like she took one to the face. Shaking it off.
She's a derby player.
Yeah,
She'll
you
be
gotta
fine.
shake them off.
As Wrecking Bill would say, you got to rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's hard to just rub dirt into your face, though. Can be done. Mud mask, I suppose.
So next up, jamming for St. Louis, that is Harmony Killer Brews going up against Jacked Pipes for Minnesota. Jacked Pipes leading all Minnesota scoring with 27 so far.
Looking good from that jam line.
Such good defenses employed
Yeah,
by
this is
both
crazy.
squads.
Minnesota managing to get right back up there and get on Harmony Killer Brews. And she is a little bit trapped here, letting Minnesota come around. That is Jack Pipes. She is your lead jammer and trying to get some points here. Oh, stepping outside, but she saves herself. Smart derby, 0-0. Kind of a missed opportunity for Minnesota, but good save for Arch. Looks like we've got full-strength teams on that notorious RED jammer line. And we've got Fanny Tanner taking the star for Minnesota up against Brick Tater.
So that was the first 0-point jam this half for Arch Rival. They've been able to put points on the board every
Wow.
jam.
Well, Minnesota can figure out a way to shut them down, but maybe chip away at that lead a little bit, they should be in good shape. Doing a good job of holding Bricktator right now. Losing one of their blockers. Let's see, who do we have? Fanny Tanner's really struggling up top with Arch. 2 more to contend with. Looks like she's going to push him out of play. And she does it. She will be your lead jammer. Can she get a natural Rydell Skate Grand Slam?
Not if our tribal has anything to say about it.
Yeah, they are putting on all the hits. Oh, she does it. That is a Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Some nice defense here by Minnesota as they force Bricktator to the outside.
I haven't seen Bricktator shut out like this in the game so far.
Nope, Minnesota shoring up their defense here.
They really are. Arch rival saying, check out our defense though too, and they did a great job. Fanny Tanner does eke through with another Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
This will be the first points for Minnesota in 5 jams.
Well, they need them if they're going to chip away. We've got 81 to 130 right now.
Well, so far a big jam here, already 10 points.
Big jam for Fanny Tanner. She is going to be smiling after that one. Bricktator, I doubt, will be smiling after this jam.
Oh, believe me, she will take everything that's happened this jam and apply it to the next one.
I suppose so. She does have 33 points already in this game, and she is finally out of that huge pack.
That's right. Bricktator leads all scoring for our tribal. That jam comes to an end, it looks like, due to a
injury. That is the pivot, Shiver Me Kimbers. Not sure what exactly happened and if she wants medical attention. But when injury strikes, you do have a choice. You should choose ATI Physical Therapy, the official sports medicine provider for the Brew City Bruisers. They're on hand this entire tournament. You know, to experience the ATI difference, visit ATIPT.com or stop in one of their over 19 Milwaukee area clinics for a complimentary injury screening. I don't know, do you have ATI where you are?
We do not,
okay.
And it actually looks like now we're getting an official review here by Minnesota.
Oh.
We will give you more information on that when it becomes available to us.
ATI is great. I've unfortunately seen them for a few injuries in my time with the Brew City Bruisers, but they are fabulous. Unfortunately, only because I've had the injury. Fortunately, because they are a class act. Morgan is here. She's treated me numerous times. She's fabulous. Ryan, all do fine work. I've also had to go to the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin to see Dr. Eric Peifel. They wish you a safe and happy brouhaha. They're here for all of your injuries on and off the track. So you can contact them at theorthoinstitute.com.
Well, you know what they commonly say in Derby? It's not if you get hurt, it's when you get hurt.
It's really true. And if you don't get hurt on the track, I think quite a few times there is an injury that happens at the after party. So you never know. Be safe out there. But if you're not and you have some problems, see ATI, see Dr. Peifel at the Orthopedic Institute. But maybe your problem is just that you don't have enough flair, in which case you should head over. You can see them at Turnaround Skates, which is an official skate tech. You can get some Sakatumi socks. They are fun and funky. They have socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches. You know, I got some with cats on it earlier. They have unicorn ones, anything magical, really. They have over 200 designs, various stripes, so many things. Basically anything to fit your personality. Did you get a lowdown on what is happening with the official review?
I did. Minnesota is actually asking for an expulsion on the forearm penalty that was called at the end of that jam on Kayla Sieber.
Kayla Sieber looking at an expulsion here.
That would be a major blow to Arch Rivals' defense.
I would agree.
If this happens to be upheld.
I would like to see a replay. Well, a nice little break for both teams from this intense game. I mean, right now, while you're taking a break, have a drink. Also, maybe you want to check out the WFTDA playoffs. Start marking your calendars for July 15th because that's when brackets and teams will be announced at WFTDA.com. The road to playoffs continue here at Brouhaha 2015, and we're hoping more than a few of these teams that you see here will make it to the International WFTD playoffs. Want to cheer for your favorite team? Well, you're going to have to wait till July 15th. And while you're at it, make sure you put down Brouhaha for next year, June 3rd through 5th of 2016.
Are you one of those Derby fans that likes to really go over the numbers and really get into the crunchy bits of the game? If so, we've got the website for you. Head on over to stats.madrollandolls.com, and you can get all the up-to-date stats on what's going on here at Brouhaha 2015.
That's awesome. That is a great resource. Surprising what you can find out just by the numbers. I would like to see a Moneyball type game or Moneyball type movie made just with Derby stats. See what they could put together. I feel like it could be some extra super roller derby. A bunch of ARG fans still without shirts, chanting in the corner, asking us all to chant, but the only ones really chanting back at them are the Minnesota Roller Girl fans, who are also baring their midriffs for the love of Derby.
So the official review was successful. Kayla Sieber has been expelled for an egregious forearm.
Oh my gosh, and an expulsion. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's probably a reason to drink too.
This will be a major hit to the defensive schema of the Arch Rival Roller Girls.
I agree.
We will see how Arch Rival handles the loss of one of their best blockers.
Arch Rival, a great team. Can they hold on to this lead without her? We've got Swanson for Arch Rival out there with jack pipes.
However, we are right off the bat. We have another forearm penalty. That has been the name of the game here.
Swimming through, any little push that a jammer does with their hand or arm can be called a forearm.
Now a Sakatumi power jam here for Arch Rival Annie Swanson, going to work on the Minnesota defense.
And she's really having to work. That is some tight blocking. Oh, and she gets the call on that.
Low block call on Annie Swanson, and now we're going to swap jammers in the
I don't like to disagree with the refs.
Hotel and Casino penalty box.
I don't like to disagree with the refs, but I will anyway, and I disagree with that call. No one's going to listen to me, though, so it doesn't matter. Sakatumi power jam happening here for jack pipe.
So initial pass completed.
Short-lived Sakatumi power jam with Swanson jumping out of the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box and looking for some points.
Was that an elbow? Didn't see if that was an elbow or a forearm call. Forearm call.
Swanson, Minnesota, a little bit of an uproar, claiming that Swanson cut, but no call. Swanson edging through.
Oh, big hit there, big collision.
Big hit on jack pipes. Her pipes are definitely jacked from that one. Ooh, gosh. Another big hit.
Party foul, blowing kisses at the referee, trying to motion that she'd been hit in the face.
Roller derby players are not above pointing it out to the refs. Not as bad as basketball or soccer, but
Yep.
We will show you.
Now
we have another official review.
That's right. They
got by Minnesota.
That's right. Minnesota got to keep it on that other one, so now they're going to use it.
Yep, it's true. Well, let me just give a shout out to Field 59. The Field 59 video platform powered the live streaming technology behind the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup in Dallas, and now powers the live stream for the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. Power Jam your Derby bouts with Field 59's video solutions. And right along with that, really, Hinckley Productions. They've been a friend to Derby since 2008, providing live video production services and bringing you this live broadcast of Brouhaha support-free live streaming Derby with your DVD purchase at hinkleyproductions.com/Brouhaha. And always a good idea, if you are a roller derby player or enthusiast, get these bouts on DVD, rewatch them, study these teams, so that when you come up on these teams, you know what to do. You know how they play, you know their moves, you know their players. It is a great resource. Do we have any info on that official review? It looks like we're ready to get the action started. Gertrude Stein jamming for Minnesota against mighty Boston for arch rival. Any news as they kick it off from the notorious RED jammer line?
So it appears that Minnesota was challenging the non-call on a track cut on the arch rival jammer Annie Swanson. That call, however, not a call. It's the no call stands.
Okay.
So now they have no official review left.
No call stands, and it looks like Gertrude Stein, she is on her scoring pass right now. Mighty Boston still stuck with that Minnesota defense. Minnesota not so nice.
So 5 points, a Rydell grand slam there for Minnesota.
And she gets it.
That jam called off. And now we see Minnesota starting to climb back into this game.
Climbing up with 3. 105-139. Still really anyone's game. That is not a big lead in roller derby.
Nope, just 34 points separating these two squads. Now with 16:30 to go here in the second half.
Really just need a couple Sakatumi power jam situations and anything can change.
Speaking of penalties, Minnesota has had 2 jammer penalties so far this second half. Arch rival, none yet.
None.
It's going to be Brickyard taking on Shiver Me Kimbers.
Little shoulder action on the notorious RED jammer line. All right. Looks like, no pass, no penalty. So Shiver Me Kimbers is your lead jammer looking to score. Or I'm sorry, not your lead jammer. Hitting the pack first, though, and looking to score.
So Brickyard is going to look here to match the 4 points of Shiver Me Kimbers before calling this jam off.
Yep.
Minnesota, meanwhile, is going to try to speed
Smart
this pack
action.
up.
Oh,
and nice. Real smart heads-up play there by Brickyard.
Really just nullifying Minnesota's points on that one. 109-143. This is a great game.
So Fanny Tanner now taking the notorious RED jammer line, and that's going to be Brick Tater out there for St. Louis.
3-on-3. 1 blocker each in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Arch rival edging through first a little bit, but Fanny Tanner for Minnesota. Oh, no.
And
Almost
again, the
lead
forearm call for a Sakatumi power jam here for Brick Tater. Dangerous situation here for Minnesota. Brick Tater, a lot of points on the board so far.
33 so far for this game, and she is not satisfied with that. She would like more. I'm scared by that Minnesota nice state. Every time I catch a glimpse in the monitor, I'm like, what is it doing? I must watch it at all times.
It's Minnesota nice.
Ah,
so it actually
yes,
is kind of
I like
menacing.
that.
Yeah. So that explains a lot.
Or the Minnesota.
Yeah. Ooh.
See? All right. Fanny Tanner is back in. So is Brick Tater. Both teams at full strength. Who's got the best idea is what it comes down to right now.
So it looks like
Who's strongest?
Brick Tater is lead jammer.
It's like a high block called in Minnesota. Oh, Brick Tater can hold on to it. She's going to be recycled, but calls it off.
So 5 more points. Rydell grand slam there. And that was all that Brick Tater was able to secure on that jam.
And we're all back on the notorious RED jammer line for some more action.
So watch carefully. Number 9 for Minnesota. That is secondhand smoke out there blocking. She does have 6 penalties. So it'll be interesting to see if she can play this jam clean. Meanwhile, Harmony Killebrew is jamming for St. Louis, and it's going to be number 3, Jack Pipes, with lead jammer.
On her toe stops, edging through the inside line. Nice moves. She'll be your lead jammer. She's already hitting the back of the pack, looking for some points. She needs to get through quickly and cleanly and call this off so she can shut it down. That was nice. That was some great action.
So a 3-0 jam there for Minnesota.
Minnesota still trying to chip away at that lead, 112, 148. They've got 12 minutes though. If they can shut our rival down.
Well, it's just 36 points. That's nothing in this game.
It's true. And if they can shut Arch down, I think it'll be great.
So now it looks like Arch rival going to call a timeout here. I think they're just looking to slow things down a little bit and catch their breath as the skaters on the track aren't skating back over to the bench. So I think this was more of a let's take a breather.
Yeah, we've got some timeouts to call. Let's call them right now.
So don't forget, next Brouhaha, June 3rd through 5th, 2016. We would love to see you right back here for all the action.
Even better.
Should be a fun time. I'm sure it'll be just as much fun as this one has been so far.
Is it ever not fun?
Day 3 here on the Derby Laces Track 2. We've got number 7, Minnesota, right now trailing to number 14, Arch Rival.
God. There it is again.
The score, 148, Arch Rival, 112, Minnesota, 11:58 to go here in the second half in what has been a fantastic matchup so far. Arch Rival has held the lead now for a significant amount of time, but Minnesota has never let things get away from them. They've always been right there within striking distance, matching Arch Rival point for point.
Anything can happen. Oh, yikes. That was some amazing footwork for Brick Tater, and she is out through. She's your lead jammer. Skaters on the ground, looking for a call. No one gets it. Brick Tater is through and calls it off.
That was actually Brickyard out there.
Oh, that was Brickyard.
A little bit of misinformation we were given there. That was, they had Brickyard on the monitor. That was.
Well, when you have Brickyard and Brick Tater, sometimes.
The bricks.
The bricks.
The last Minnesota RollerGirls lead was 13-7 of jam number 3 of this game.
It's been a while, but they're right in there.
Yeah, they've never let this thing get out of hand.
No.
They've always been right there within striking distance. But now it is Brick Tater on the jammer line against Jack Pipe.
Ooh, Jack Pipes is your lead jammer.
Yep.
Brick Tater, though, hot on her heels.
And here we're going to see the speed.
Oh, and she calls it off. Looked like Jack Pipes had a nice hit on her, got a little bit out of control in a spin, and said, I should just call this off.
Brick Tater just so fast.
So fast. Why waste time when you need to line it up again on that notorious RED jammer line?
She has been a fantastic shot in the arm to that Arch Rival Roller Girls jammer rotation.
Really, really great.
Next up on the notorious RED jammer line, that's going to be Annie Swanson for Arch Rival, and number 2, Fanny Tanner for Minnesota. Fanny Tanner leading all Minnesota scorers with 41.
Ooh,
One left
nice
to beat.
Spin.
And Fanny Tanner is going to be your lead jammer.
Yes, she is. Cruising. Looks like Swanson still stuck. Trying to make some things happen.
Swanson, one of those straightforward north-south jammers. She's not really going to do a whole lot of fancy moves. She's just going to power through your walls. But right now, this...
Looking for any way. She's like, could I get my nose through here?
Yeah, this Kumbaya quartet of blockers by Minnesota.
Like the least cozy campfire you've ever been to.
And they're just doing like a spin every time Annie Swanson spins. They rotate around.
That's some dynamic defense. I've seen a lot of teams doing that this weekend, and it's the ones that can execute it well. It is really shutting the jammers down. Arch Rival also doing something very similar, but in the back.
Arch Rival more in a 1-3.
Owning Fanny Tanner. Fanny Tanner just trying to get some points. And she does. Gets through. Ooh, Swanson got some speed. Finally able to get through that pack.
And that would be a Rydell Grand Slam for Fanny Tanner.
Oh, Rydell skates. Such unmatched quality and such unmatched performance.
Boy, I'll tell you what, those new insoles that they've been showing off up there in that booth, those are really sweet.
I know. I barely skate anymore, but I want some.
Fully customizable with different heel cups,
awesome.
arch supports, some really cutting-edge stuff being brought out by Rydell.
Check out the hashtag Brouhaha 2015. Throw something at us on Twitter if you guys like to tweet. Let's see, we've got Jack Pipes again and Brickyard.
Only Mayor Francis Slayer left to beat. Out of play, has to let her go. So another lead jammer here for Minnesota.
Such a nice feeling when you're a jammer, when you hear that out of play. Like, thank you.
And then around the outside, and that's going to be a Rydell Grand Slam.
Beautiful. And Brickyard finally through the pack. But Jack Pipes is like, I'm going to get some points right now. And it looks like she picks up 1.
So that lead,
shuts out.
That lead slowly dwindling. Now only 29. Arch Rival trying to weather the late storm here by Minnesota. Only 7 minutes to go, but that is an infinite amount of time, really.
It's true. Momentum, I mean, I feel the momentum a little bit for Minnesota right now. Can they hold on to it?
So it's Brick Tater on the line now for St. Louis, going up against Shiver Me Kimbers for Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota hanging on to that momentum. Shiver Me Kimbers is your lead jammer.
Brick Tater also free of the pack and rocketing around the track.
She is super fast.
And I don't think any points. No points.
No points. I don't know. I would have said 1 for Minnesota. But I'm not down there, so don't ask me.
A 0-0 jam there, and I'll tell you what, with time winding down, that is just as good as points for Arch Rival.
It's true. Minnesota needs a couple big jams or 1 really huge jam to close this. I've seen a 30-point jam in this tournament, and I'm not just talking from Gotham, so it is possible.
So we got a message from a tweeter out there asking for clarification on the egregious forearm. The reason it was egregious was it actually involved a shove, and a shove can be grounds for an expulsion. So those of you out there watching, and now we've got a forearm.
Minnesota. Forearm. Minnesota was going to try to call off the jam, but forgot she did not have the jammer panty on her head. But kind of good thing that she didn't, because in that time, Arch Rivals jammer, Brickyard, was sent to the penalty box. Oh, the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino's penalty box.
So nice.
Buying her some more time to score some points.
Nice force out there.
Good recycled. She's got to do it again.
Meanwhile, the power jam comes to an end. Bricktator back on the track and knifing her way through the pack.
She really is.
Practically just runs over the last blocker. Oh, and now we're going to have a forearm in Minnesota's jammer.
Oh, no, not what Minnesota needs. Everything that our rival needs.
I believe that is the 10th jammer penalty now for Minnesota this game.
Brickyard.
So, a Rydell grand slam there for Brickyard. Sakatumi power jam here. And Brickyard just so strong.
She really is. She did not pick a bad derby name. Very apt. And she is just racking up the points. She really took advantage of that Sakatumi power jam, and the jam is over. Timeout for Minnesota. Smart call, because with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left, if they have any shot of coming back, they need to lock it down right now.
Yeah, that was a very smart timeout there, as they're going to regroup here, clear their heads, get back on track. They were steadily closing that gap.
They were doing a great job.
And then that swapping of jammers really put the hurt to them, as Brickyard was able to score much more points.
Take their passion and make it happen, because now is the time.
That's right. Was it teamwork makes the dream work? Is that it?
I believe so. Oh,
there they are.
Fair midriffs.
Yep. And
there's the dude portion of some roller derby
some
action.
Of the St. Louis gatekeepers there. That's Nate Bauer, Walker Hamilton, Spin Diesel, D Mouthful, and Shane Bauer.
And they are egging on the Minnesota Roller Girl fans that are up higher.
Oh, yes, some characters in this sport there are.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
Who would have?
Now on the Notorious RED jammer line, it's Fanny Tanner out there from Minnesota going up against Harmony Killebrews for St. Louis.
Oh, intense. So much intense playing right now. So, these packs, so relentless.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. Just shoving their way through. Jammers are not going to get through easily.
Really nice work there, too, by Arch Rival to